What are the pros and cons of living in Calgary? It's a question we get asked a lot, especially from our clients who are looking at moving here from other Canadian cities. So we thought we'd have a go at some of those pros and cons.
Let's face it, there's always going to be good things and bad things about any place. So let's go.
Pro number one, taxes. Aside from a few northern provinces, Alberta maintains only 5% GST. All other provinces have either an additional provincial sales tax or harmonized sales tax. Alberta also offers one of the lowest personal income tax rates in Canada, with only Saskatchewan and our northern provinces being lower.
And if that wasn't enough, Alberta has the lowest corporate tax rate in Canada at only 8%. As a result, investment here is expected to increase by $4 billion in 2023 and could add more than 55,000 jobs. Alberta will be the best place in Canada to relocate to, and corporations can be confident that Alberta is serious about being the most competitive province to invest in and do business in.
Pro number two, average income. Where you live matters. According to Calgary Economic Development, Calgarians take home a median after-tax income of more than $75,000, the highest of all major Canadian cities. Calgary also has the highest proportion of earners with an after-tax income of $100,000. What does this mean? We enjoy the highest household disposable income per capita of all major Canadian cities in Canada.
And this brings us to pro number three, cost of living. So how do we compare when it comes to food, housing, clothes, transportation, and entertainment? In fact, it costs about 22% less to live in Calgary than Vancouver, and 18% less than Toronto. I know what you're thinking. How much money does that actually equate to? Well, it's about $1,000 a month, or roughly 274 lattes, 500 avocados, or a round-trip flight to Europe. Now that's affordable living.
Pro number four, lower home prices. And what about home prices? Well, we have good news there too. While the median price of a detached home in Canada hit $906,000 during the first quarter of 2022, Calgary's median price for a detached home is only $605,000.
That's a difference of more than $300,000. Imagine how far that money could go towards enjoying your life right here in Calgary.
Now that we've touched on a few of the pros of living in Calgary, let's look at those cons, and there are a few. And con number one might be the weather. It's complicated. As the saying goes around here, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And while it can be cold here in the winters, it makes for great outdoor winter activities. And one of the advantages we have of living on the east side of the Canadian Rockies are those Chinook winds. Those winds can take the temperature from -20 to +5 in a few short hours, and it can last for days.
Con number two has to be the construction congestion. It can be a real pain in the... With a growing city comes infrastructure improvements, and we certainly have our fair share of roadwork going on these days. But these inconveniences are short-lived, and ultimately this means getting around the city will be so much easier. And even with never-ending road construction, our traffic congestion is still way better than most other major cities.
Con number three, lack of economic diversity. At nearly 26%, the oil, gas, and mining sector occupies a quarter of the GDP of Alberta, with real estate, rental, and leasing coming in second at 11%. However, the economic landscape continues to evolve in Calgary, and we now have the highest concentration of high-tech workers of all Canadian cities.
Yep, it's true. With one of the busiest airports in the country, the aerospace industry is growing its technologies right here in Calgary. And no surprise, agribusiness is also a large part of our economy, along with the growing film industry, thanks in part to the new Calgary Film Centre. Layer in clean technologies, financial services, digital media, life sciences, and the technology sector, You can see there's no stopping Calgary.
Con number 4, getting around Calgary. Geographically, we have a lot of land and the city of Calgary is pretty spread out. While we do have access to public transportation such as the C train and buses, driving seems to be a little more convenient right now. However, we're working on this by adding a new line to the C train, and even the ability to bike around town is improving. The city has invested in bike lanes, which you'll see throughout the core of the city.
Of course, there are many more pros to living in Calgary, and let's be honest, probably a few more cons as well. But we're just getting started. What are your thoughts? What did we miss? Drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. See you in the next video.